NTA Channel 12 Uyo. NTA Channel 12 Uyo.
It was a moment.
Welcome to NTA. My name is Emily Omo. This broadcast is reaching you live on Star Times Channel 103 and our social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube. Do well to like our pages. Christian faithful are admonished to cultivate the habit of thanksgiving and praises.
It was a moment of thanksgiving for some Christians in Uyo as they gathered in their various churches to appreciate God for his blessings and mercies. In his sermon, Reverend Victor Akman of the Foursquare Gospel Church, Uyo, reminded the faithful to always count their blessings and favors from God and avoid complaints in order to attract more blessings from the Almighty.
Let us do as much good as we can do for fellow men. Let us pray for the country. Let's pray for our state that there be peace. Let us not live in fear, because what you are even afraid of, God has already taken care of them. Let's believe that the God we serve is able to keep you. He will keep you through the month of August. Just like you came into July, you are about finishing July.
At the Kwaibo Church, Ikodekpene Road, Uyo, Christians were charged to live a righteous life and be committed to the service of God.
Genesis 1 verse 28, the God had commanded that be fruitful, be blessed, be multiplied. So we want to assure the Christian, despite for the fact of whatever is happening in this season, trust God, you'll be fruitful, you'll be multiplied, and you'll be blessed in the name of Jesus Christ.
My advice is that we should follow God no matter the situation. No matter the situation, nobody should go astray because of action. That's what I would advise, because definitely one day we will rejoice.
Other men of God urged the faithful to continue to believe in God despite the current hardship in the land.
Pour out your heart in appreciation for what God has done for you. Don't limit yourself. Anna took time to tell people what God is capable of, and she went further to assure them of what God will do. So that is my message for humanity.
Telling us that we should be very, very careful. We should be intentional about everything that we are doing, knowing that there must be a reward at the end of it. God has a reward system.
In the sun and in the rain, the stress of coming to school, no accidents. It's been an accident-free session. For the 6 years, we've not had any reason to bury any of our child. We've not had any reason to visit them in the hospital. So we have every reason this morning to celebrate God on their instance.
I'm very grateful to the Almighty God, because it's not really easy these days. How the economy of Nigeria is, it's very difficult for one to survive. But God has been faithful. We are not gone begging.
The services featured prayers and songs of praises to God. In Uyo, John Paul Alumona, NTA News.
There seems to be an assumption in some circles that politics is inherently defiled and that political involvement is inappropriate for those serious about the gospel. A common question like, should Christians be engaged in politics, has dominated the public debate space for a while, and the curiosity for answers is the reason for Uwemedi Samson's opinion sample of the thoughts of some Christian faithful.
The important role of government is one reason Christians should care about the political process, as government is God's idea and Christians should engage with it in a way that is consistent with its God-ordained purpose. Some Christian faithful say government is ordained by God to promote good and restrain evil, and God authorized the government to wield the sword for the administration of justice. Based on this premise, Christians are reminded to educate and equip their members to think biblically about moral issues, candidates, and party platforms.
So that is, it is very good for a Christian to be involved in politics. You go there and teach them the way of Christ. You teach them the way of Christ. It is important. So I won't say it is not good. It is very, very good.
It is right for Christians to go into politics, trusting that as they go into politics, they will do the right thing that will make people to be happy and rejoice.
Christians agree that there is need to be engaged in politics because they believe in a God who cares passionately about His word and His creation. And as such, believers in God should have much to bring to God in prayer than turning to destructive protests. In Uyo, Uwemedi Samson, NTA News.
Governor Omoeno of Akwa Ibom State is cautioning planned protesters in the nationwide demonstration not to give in to acts that could cause destruction of lives and infrastructure across the country. The governor was speaking to newsmen in Uyo upon his arrival from the meeting of Nigeria's Governors Forum. The report.
Admitting that protest is within the right of citizens in a democratic setting, Governor Eno recalls how peaceful protests have been hijacked by hoodlums and enemies of the state in the past to cause destructions of life and property.
Protest is a right of the people, but we want to say that in Akwa Ibom we have done and we're still doing the very best to address the hunger that is in the land.
Enumerating the steps taken so far by government to ease the pains of citizens, the governor reassures that his administration will continue to seek ways of improving the lives of the people in the midst of the present economic challenges to ensure a better future for all.
We must not forget our experience from the NSAS, where we lost a lot of things to hoodlums in the disguise of protesting. So I'd like to appeal to the Akwa Ibom people to let us reason together. Our youth and indeed all of us, we are all in this together. There is no one party that is just enjoying while the rest are suffering.
The Department of State Service and other security agencies in the country had earlier cautioned against such protests, outlining its possible negative impact on the nation's peace and economy. In Uyo, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
The Minister of State for Police Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, is appealing to Nigerian youths to be patient with the government's reform program and adopt peaceful engagement, dialogue, and collaboration rather than a confrontation that will lead to destruction and chaos. In a statement, the minister acknowledged the frustration that drives the desire to protest, but cautioned on the narratives accompanying the planned protest from its faceless nature, which may lead to chaos. The minister also said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his team are working hard to build a strong and prosperous future for all, and his commitment is absolute, while his policies are deliberate and well thought out. He adds that the Minister of Police Affairs has made its programs people-centric and primarily revolving around dynamic youths and other members of local communities in multiple ongoing town halls to fill the polls and have taken stock and is now being developed into a transformative roadmap for reforming the Nigerian police force. The minister also expressed the significant progress in expanding the human and technical capabilities of the police force, such as commitment to recruiting over 40,000 young Nigerians into over the next years, while the planned recruitment for 2024 is already at an advanced stage. As the world creates awareness on the viral hepatitis disease, medical experts in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, emphasized the need for frequent testing and vaccination, abstinence from sexual misconduct, as well as avoiding sharp objects. These experts affirmed will expedite action to eliminate the killer disease. The report.
It is time for action. There is a clarion call on medics and individuals to collaborate and expand access to diagnosis and treatment through public enlightenment to eliminate the disease. According to the World Health Organization, viral hepatitis is a serious infection that causes liver damage and liver cancer. Among the 5 strains of the hepatitis viruses, B and C are the most common, with about 96.8 million people living with chronic hepatitis B and around 7.1 million living with a chronic hepatitis C. With such an alarming number of infected persons with hepatitis, how many people know about this killer disease? Treatment, symptoms, prevention, and where to access treatment.
Hepatitis is a dangerous disease. I've not really taken time to go in depth, as in causes and prevention and...
I know it's an ailment which at times could be genetic, though I don't know the exact nature of the symptoms. I have not gone directly for the check, but several times in the past I've done full body checkup and I know I do not have it.
The World Health Organization has significantly made progress in controlling hepatitis B through national vaccination program. Yet, stakeholders believe that a lot still needs to be done.
It is transmitted in similar way HIV/AIDS is transmitted. It is transmitted from blood, transfer of blood from an individual to another individual. And also note that hepatitis B is 10 times more infectious than HIV.
It is believed that by acting now, lives will be saved, new infections will be prevented, there will be a decrease in liver cancer cases and death, and hepatitis elimination goals by 2030 will be achieved.
Presents numerous challenges for many women, but participating in a boxing tournament while expecting takes these challenges to a whole new level. Driven by an extraordinary passion, Celestina Ekele from Kogi State exemplifies the length one can go to for their dreams. Jonathan Omajeli brings us her story.
The sight of Celestina Ekele at a gym in Lokoja with her 2-month-old daughter drew curious eyes. She didn't appear to be someone ready to participate in any of the gym's sporting activities. It was only after she finished breastfeeding her baby that we understood her purpose there. She had come to box. Celestina, a professional boxer, is a mother of 3. She has represented Kogi State in several tournaments, including the Abuja Festival in 2018, just 5 months after giving birth to her first child, and the Edo 2021 Games, where she competed while pregnant. Remarkably, she successfully gave birth while also winning medals for the state.
In 2018, that was Abuja Festival. Then I already got married then. I was carrying 5 months baby, my firstborn. He said, I'm not sure I can do it. I said, people that are doing it, they are no more than me. They are a woman like me, they don't have 2 heads. I have the mind I can do it. And I said, okay, I should train towards it. And I trained. By God's grace, when I went to Abuja, that was my first acting, though I was a novice then. By God's grace, I won a medal.
As it turns out, her husband, an Olympian, is also a boxer and her coach. Her father-in-law has also raised 3 Olympians, and together they train her and support her dream of reaching the pinnacle of her boxing career.
I've gone to an Olympic in Beijing Olympic. I was in Beijing Olympic.
When it comes to training, we don't do husband and wife in training.
Okay.
We don't do father and daughter in training. Okay. But when we are out of the ring, out of the training, you can do daughter, you can do husband. Okay. When me and my husband is sparring, my coach, I don't call him my husband, my coach is sparring. Yeah. I don't look at him like a husband, I look at him like a coach.
Very hard working, ready to take instruction, and that's what boxing is all about.
The only place she was lacking was an advisor who tells her what to do and what not to do, and I was by her. And when she went, she came back to me with a trophy.
Celestina's only frustration is the lack of support from the Ministry of Sports, which she believes discourages young girls like her from pursuing their boxing dreams.
We cannot just leave the event, leave training, go home, eat gari, tomorrow come back to training. It's not done now. The strength will not be there. But when they encourage the children, they encourage us, the athletes, Abba. We'll try if they try their best, we'll try our own best and we'll bring more medals to the state.
She dreams of competing in the Olympics just like her supportive husband and coach, who says it is impossible.
Professor Ezekiel Edem Williams says being alive and giving back to the society are his greatest blessings as he celebrates 60th birthday anniversary and unveiling his charity organization known as Professor Williams and Grace Foundation in Uyo. Etienne Oibang reports that a book entitled Astuteness Personified, a biography of Professor Williams, was presented at the ceremony.
Born in 1964, the man Ezekiel Williams, who is a native of Ikorodong Ikono in Uyo local government area, is a professor of business administration from the University of Costa Rica and a former chairman, Port Harcourt District Society of Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. To him, providing support and care for the less privileged necessitates the launching of Professor Williams and Grace Foundation.
To change our perception and conception about life. Life is all about what comes to you as an individual, but the ability for you to use what comes to you to the essence of others. There's a principle that I love most. It's the principle of JOY. Jesus first, others in between, yourself last. And that principle is what has driven me to launch this foundation, to see how much I can be able to be of importance and assistance to humanity.
Gathered here are family, friends, colleagues and associates to celebrate a man whom they attest constantly makes a mark in his practice as an expert in accountancy, taxation and the allied fields, as well as humanity.
Make him to fulfill his age, and also, very importantly, because of the help he has rendered to people, God should also help him so that he will make it to heaven in order to receive his reward.
Father, to be a giver. Anybody that has any problem, ask. My dad has not heard that he cannot help you. You want to do it.
Long life and prosperity. I wish him all the best in everything he's setting his hands to do.
Okay, I see it as a wonderful thing because he helps, like, let me say, in my aspect, he's imparting people, and that is nice, and that is good.
Helped a lot of people, and such a man like that, we always pray for more life and good health. So,
as he marks his 60th birthday today, with the book launching and also the foundation, I pray that God will help him, God will keep him, God will continue to strengthen him.
More than that already. The society, we get to my place by the grace of God, the people on his payroll from the community, there are more than 100.
What he has put in place now as a foundation is a legacy we should be left behind.
Yes. From the little I have known about him and from what I've seen on in the video, I mean, he's thorough. empowering people.
The event also featured the presentation of the celebrant's biography titled Astuteness Personified, which chronicles the life of Professor Williams from birth and the present. Then the celebrant, Professor Ezekiel Williams, takes the stage and cuts his 60th birthday cake in company of his wife Grace, children and guests. Guests and celebrants also had time to unwind. In Uyo, Etienne Ibanga, NTN News.
Let's join Suleiman Musa on Sports Update.
We begin with the Olympics, as table tennis star Olajide Omotayo has become the first Team Nigeria athlete to exit the 2024 Paris Olympic Games as he lost his round of 64 game against Noshad Alamian of Iran in the singles category. Omotayo took the first set 11-6 but lost the next 4 sets as his 4-1 defeat marked the end of the road for him. In a related development, Africa's #1 Aruna Kadri is also out of the men's singles after his loss to Romanian Edward 4-3. Meanwhile, the senior women's national football team Super Falcons will be out for their first point of Paris 2024 when they take on world champion Spain on Sunday evening. The coach Randy Waldrum-led side lost their first game 1-0 to Brazil and will now fancy their chances against the Europeans as they target a place in their next round. In another development, in line with its mandate to kick out all forms of trafficking of persons in Nigeria, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIC, led by its Director General Professor Fatima Waziri Azi, organized an all-female novelty football match as part of activities to mark the 2024 World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, with the theme, Leave No Child Behind in the Fight Against Trafficking.
It's just a way of having fun, but also using the same avenue to sensitize people, to create that awareness, about issues of human trafficking.
The event today really marked, our partnership and the effort that we all put in to fight against trafficking in human beings.
This novelty female football match, which I was also part of, is one of the activities for the whole week that we have dedicated to amplify the message about child trafficking.
In other news, Nigeria Super Sun Eagles have failed in their bid to qualify for Africa Beach Soccer Nations Cup in Egypt after losing 5-6 to Mauritania in the return fixture of their qualifying tie. The Sun Eagles, who just made a return to continental competition after a 4-year break, won the first leg 5-4 last Saturday but fell short at home with Mauritania qualifying on away goals rule. And finally, Kaduna-based Kada Stars and Kada Queens are winners of the National Hockey League at Ahmadu Bello Stadium in Kaduna. Kada Stars beat Niger Flickers 5-3 in the men's final, while Kada Queens secure a 2-0 victory over Plateau Queens. All finalists will represent Nigeria at Africa Cup for Clubs Champions in Zimbabwe come December. With Sport Update, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
Before we go, do remember to be a star. Join NTA's campaign to stand against rape and rapists. Do have a beautiful Monday.